Hello, this is the RPG Crawler, and welcome to my computer and console role-playing game news roundup for February 22nd, 2025. As those longtime viewers may have guessed, I am now splitting these into separate videos for tabletop gaming and computer console gaming, one for each. You can expect the tabletop gaming either later tonight or tomorrow. I may release them at the same time, who knows. I will no doubt be modifying the internal formats of these to differentiate them as we go. I'd like to include some actual footage of gameplay, for instance, of some of the games I cover here. But for now, we'll settle on just splitting them into their own video and continue with the format as it was. Anyway, onward towards the week in computer and console role-playing game news. Fate Reawakened is set to hit on March 12th. It looks like it'll be a bundle containing remasters of the Fate action RPG, plus its sequels, Fate Undiscovered Realms, Fate the Traitor's Soul, and Fate the Cursed King. It will target the PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X/S, as well as the Nintendo Switch. The Fate series are, of course, a set of dungeon crawlers, kind of a Diablo-light in general structure, but with a pet that accompanies you, lets you run back to send him back on missions to town, etc., etc. Then Metalbringer is set to release on March 12th as well. It is a roguelite action-adventure with, I assume, some RPG elements, and will target the PC as well as the PS5. There is a demo currently available. It'll be set on a sci-fi world with androids and giant robots where you build and set out with android soldiers and giant mechs. Meadow Monogatari, Fia and the Wondrous Academy, is set to get a Western release. It looks like it'll target the PS4, PS5, and the Nintendo Switch for sometime this year. It is an entry into a long-running dungeon crawler franchise, with the last title coming to North America and Europe markets back in 2013 as Sorcery Saga. Mecharashi is getting a global release, although the date has not been set yet. It will hit the PC as well as mobile platforms. It was originally part of the Front Mission series, but that series' developer and the publisher parted ways. So it'll be released. It was released as a different title in China and Japan over the course of a couple of years, a while back. It has you playing a mercenary unit of mech pilots, which is fairly familiar. Buramato was announced, although no release date has been set yet. It looks like it'll be an action-adventure inspired by Bornean myth, where you slay various monsters and look to unravel what happened to your lost memories. Not sure how many RPG elements are in this one, really, but, I mean, I guess it fits the mold. As far as actual releases go, Avowed saw its release. It is a first-person fantasy RPG set in the same world as Pillars of Eternity series. From some of the reception, it looks like it did okay. It did not do maybe as well as some people were expecting, although the publisher, the developers seem to be very happy with the numbers sold. I will be honest, from what I've seen, I think they probably should have stuck with the top-down 2D view, because my understanding is that while the game is fun and relatively, well put together, the world is nowhere near as immersive as it probably should have been, considering the time it was in development, especially. Compared to other 3D RPGs from even a decade or more back, it kind of lacks in some of those areas. So honestly, it's one of those franchises that probably should have stuck closer to its 2D roots. But who knows? Maybe they'll look forward. Maybe they'll develop better for the next one. Not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it may not. Wait for it on sale, from what I understand. Anyway, Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii saw its release. And I consider the Yakuza series as RPG because, I mean, they basically are. It looks like it features Majima Goro, who has lost his memories and has decided to become a pirate. And it has you upgrading your ships, exploring the open seas, and generally causing mayhem, as Majima usually does. So, I mean, that's just fun all the way around. Immortal Hunters is a beat-em-up RPG where a church has killed its god, and now the world is falling into apocalypse as a result. And you have to fight through the various church hierarchy to find a reborn god to restore things, I guess. Cabernet is a narrative RPG set in the 19th century in an Eastern European-inspired world. You help guide a young vampire in her struggle to exist, and there is a demo available. Dungeon Fell is a roguelite. It has tactical combat systems where you command a group of delvers diving into dungeons, taking on waves of monsters to collect treasure, so you can upgrade your delvers to dive into dungeons, and so on and so forth. Never Second in Rome is a turn-based historical RPG/management sim where you play a Roman centurion in the army of Julius Caesar. So you got RPG, and I guess you manage your century. Neverwinter Nights Enhanced Edition got a new module, Doom of Icewind Dale. It's a continuation of the hero of Neverwinter's tale from Luke's Skull. It looks like it has 10 to 15 hours of additional gameplay set around the 10 towns of Icewind Dale. It's interesting to see this one getting new material even after all these years. Peripeteia saw release into early access. It's an immersive sim with RPG elements set in an alternate history cyberpunk Poland. It really harkens back to some of the classics of the immersive sim genre. Castle Xenon is a retro-style JRPG with a 30-hour adventure featuring turn-based battles, puzzles, handcrafted maps, and so forth. Rogue Rhythm is a roguelike with a rhythm-based combat where you crawl through a dungeon and learn more mechanics after each boss, so you basically build up your powers over time. The Dark Tower is a D&D open gaming license inspired old-school RPG. It looks like it's inspired by very old editions of D&D, with a focus on technical combat and very minimalist styles, really just tokens moving around on a map. So if you like that sort of thing, I do, so, New Meat is a horror comedy roguelite where you have to survive 5 days in a fast food joint often visited by extra-dimensional horrors. And with that, we'll move on to crowdfunding campaigns. Remember that contributing to a crowdfunding campaign should be done only at your own risk. Doing so is no guarantee of even receiving a product mentioned here is not an endorsement, but it is for informational purposes only, and it looks like Seven Seas Adventures will try to be an open-world pirate RPG taking place, of course, in the age of sail and piracy. There is a demo available on Steam. And finally, Somber Heaven will be trying to fund an open-world action RPG where you are a part of a society fighting against negative manifestations. It is wishlistable on Steam. On that note, I'm going to wrap it here. As always, links will be below. I will, again, try to put out the tabletop RPG news either the same day you see this video or tomorrow, depending on how things go. This has been the RPG Crawler. Until next time, take care and goodbye.
And if you are still watching, I would like to take the opportunity to thank my supporters, the top tiers of which are listed on the screen, without whose support I would not have been able to offer the variety of content that I have on this channel throughout the years. If you're feeling particularly generous and would like to join them, you can support the channel. There are a variety of options to do so. I have a Patreon, a Subscribestar, as well as channel memberships enabled. If you are not in a position to contribute, simply leaving a like, a comment, or sharing my videos are all wonderful ways to help the channel grow without spending a dime, and are all greatly appreciated.